Agriculture is a heavily regulated industry with everything from land ownership to production activities subject to federal and state regulations. But how do major federal rules apply to producers of food products? Joining us now with more perspective is Roger McEowen with the University School of Law. Thanks for joining us, Roger. Let's start with some background on food product regulations, how they work, and what they aim to do.
Well, this is really a big deal in agriculture, Christina, in terms of production of food products. It's a major effort by the government, both at the federal as well as the state level. But at the federal level, the government agencies that have primary responsibility for ensuring food safety and the safetiness of the food supply in the United States are the USDA through their Food Safety and Inspection Service and the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. And I think most people are probably familiar with what the FDA does here, but may not have realized that the USDA is involved heavily in this too. They're generally responsible for regulating meat, poultry, and certain egg products, and the FDA has the responsibility for regulating all other food products, including seafood and milk and grain products, fruits and veggies, and certain canned, frozen, and packaged foods that contain meat, poultry, and eggs that USDA doesn't regulate. So by virtue of those two agencies, they're really concerned about food adulteration and misbranding, and that's what they focus on.
What about when it comes to organic foods? Are there any differences there?
Well, that's a big deal also, and basically organic, to be certified as organic, you have to meet certain standards, and it generally means that the produce or crops were grown without the use of conventional pesticides or artificial fertilizers, human waste, or sewage sludge, and that they were processed without radiation or food additives. And so there are guidelines that the government sets to make sure that the food is produced in accordance with those guidelines so that you can have the organic label.
I understand that can be a lengthy process as well. Now, in late 2015, the FDA issued its final produce safety rule. What does that entail?
Well, it's basically designed to reduce the instances of foodborne illnesses. In the early part of 2016 is when the rule kicked in, and that rule generally covers the use of manure or compost as fertilizer, and it allows a time period, basically about a 3 to 4 month waiting period between the application of untreated manure on land and the time of harvest. And that's in accordance with USDA National Organic Program standards. And so there are some limitations on the amount of produce that a farm can sell over the prior 3 years to be exempt under the rule. There are all types of thresholds that are in there. It's really detailed, but I would encourage people that are interested in this to take a deeper look at it.
Well, we always appreciate talking to you. You can visit washburnlaw.edu/WALTR if you'd like more information. Roger McEowen with the Washburn University School of Law. Thank you for joining us today.